All right, we're, I believe, live. Hello, how's it going? Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to Movie Crap Live. How's it going? I think we're starting exactly on time. Oh, there's an ad here. I've actually been watching Dexter's Lab on Tubi a little bit. Man, there's a couple ads on here. Jesus. Sorry, I want to actually hear me. Exactly. Okay, there we go. Sorry. I like to make sure I'm actually on here. Sometimes I get an email that says, you've been streaming on your own channel, which I'm like, I don't know if this is the best use of emails. YouTube/Google. Hello to everyone. First off, Purple Goop, I want to say hello to you first because they said added everyone, and then you came in right as I was doing other stuff. So Purple Goop deserves my first shout out. I just want to give a shout out to Sinram, or say hello to everyone. Sorry, to Sinram, Cornbread. I saw William Ullman earlier. Jordan Salafalo, M Blood T, Nathaniel Foga, Austin, K Master. I thought I saw K Master. Am I wrong about that? Sinram came out. I don't know. I don't know where I saw K Master, but everyone's here. And oh, Mr. Silver is here. 6 viewing. Oh wow, 6 viewing. And yes, I think I sent them both out. Did I send them both out? They should be there. I hope they are there. Looks like Blue Sky's good. Looks like, I hope Twitter's good. Twitter is good. I gotta remove that pin thing. Anyway, Super Kirby Dude is here. Mr. Silver. Everybody, welcome. It's Jordan Slavo's birthday. Whoa. Happy birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Jordan Slavo. And welcome to Movie Crap Live. Let me switch over to the okay. Hello, welcome. We're in the I think you knew. We're in the kitchen talking about movie news. It's hot. It's hot news, I guess. Anyway. Hello everyone and welcome to the show. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. I will talk about this is probably the one, and I'll say this. Hey Will and Will Studios. Where I definitely the thumbnail will be spread out throughout the show. So if you're ever like, man, I come here to watch the thing and I feel like I'm done with everything, these will be spread out for once. Flow is gonna be a little different. But yes, it's been a good week. I actually have some good small talk things. And I have been using Tommy Tubi's favorite streaming service, Tubi. Well, it's where he works. I don't know. His probably favorite is his Plex server, which is way cooler than Tubi. Let me turn this off. Sorry, I have it on just to test it. That's what'll happen. Yes. So yes, I was watching Tubi. I've been watching Dexter's Lab a bit because I usually like when I'm like prepping videos and like doing a lot of boring stuff. Hello, Cartoon Freak. I'll like put on something that's not a YouTube video lately, and I was like, well, I can just watch Dexter's Lab. I've been doing that, and I actually watched this small movie called Inspector Ike, which I heard about, and it was cool. It was basically like someone sort of trying to make a 70s detective show where he also makes chili, and they show you how he makes chili. It's very like purposefully a lot of space in it. But anyway, Inspector Ike gets on Tubi. Tubi's got a lot of stuff, and I'm starting to be like, maybe I should just, if you're going to scroll, go through Tubi, which I've done before, but now I'm like committed because I'm like, I keep finding, it's like when you really start scrolling, you're like, oh, that, and I could watch that, and I could watch this. It's very, very wild, the amount of fucking shit. But yeah, Inspector Ike, I would recommend it. I don't know if I might film a review, but I don't think there's a lot of stuff coming out now. But I did enjoy it. It was cool. It was like, it was interesting, very adult swimmy. That guy from that show, what's it called, Cumtown or whatever, who's now, their stuff, whatever that guy is, he was in it for a second. Like he isn't very long. I have heard the Gorillaz album. I guess that's something people are talking about. I will say I really like it. The posthumous stuff like threw me because I knew some of those people were posthumous, but like when Proof from D12 or Eminem's former best friend, because he died, was in there, I was shocked by that. And Dennis Hopper and stuff. But it's a really good album. I don't think there's like a single, although I do listen to the um, song with Sparks a lot. That's the song I really like. I am really curious how they're going to do SNL this weekend. Like, how are they going to do that? Like, I don't know. I'm curious what that's going to be like. That's going to be interesting. I think it'll be a good show because Ryan Gosling's a good SNL host. But them performing is going to be interesting. But it's a really good album. I did that little short about how I felt with Stavros. Yes, he's in Inspector Ike. I think there's a Baltimore connection. I heard, but when I was watching, I was like, I don't know how that. Anyway, I should refigure that out if I do a review thing and stuff. But anyway, sorry, that was like a little all over the place. This is small talk. I can be weird, I guess. The gorillas are probably too cool for um SNL. But no, it is a really good album. But its idea of birth and like I don't know, like sort of death and rebirth and all that. I am kind of like, is this like the last one or something? Because it sort of gives off last album vibes to me. But I hope it's not the guy from Begonia. Yes, it's the guy from Begonia. It's that guy, Stavros. I don't. Sorry. Um, Super chat doesn't work. Should work. That's weird. I don't know. It should. I know he's from Baltimore, but here I'll look into the make sure. I think we should be okay to do that. So I'm a little confused if that is true. Maybe that's just your case, but I will look into it right now. Because that would mess with shit. Um, no, I know he's from Baltimore, but I didn't know the film's connection to Baltimore seemed to be a little. It should Superchat should be okay. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else is having trouble. Let me know. I'm a little confused. It's not working for you, Mr. Silver. I'm sorry about that. Um, hmm. I don't have anything that shows it should be working according to me. But that sucks that it's not though. Dual stream. I can a vertical version automatically generate a vertical crop version for your shorts feed. Okay, maybe next time. That's interesting. I didn't even notice that. Ways to earn mid-roll ads. I don't know. I don't see it. I'm sorry. Um, we should probably keep going with the show, but um, yeah, that stinks that it's not working for you. Anyway, um, yeah, it might be maybe reload your page or something. Anyway, if anyone else has trouble, please let me know. I'll try to look into it. But anyway, but if we can do that, I will do the energy drink stuff. Hey, Zodberg is Zodberg here? Oh, that Zodberg? Pizza Cat builds. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Looks like it's Mr. Silver. Look into that. Sorry, that freaked me out a little. um, what else are we talking about? But yeah, it's a good album. I really like it. I've listened to it a couple of times since I made that video, even. And I mean, the music video is great with the animation and everything, with the cells and everything like that. I mean, it's crazy they work. I kind of would like there to be more videos though, because it felt like it was leading to something. But we'll see. I'm also like, why wasn't MF Doom? Uh, oh, okay, that's it. Thank you, William. Um, why MF Doom wasn't on there? That's my only one that I'm like. But I've heard there's like something weird going on with his um estate or something, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, oh hey, thanks, William. Oh, there we go. There we go. It worked. Thank you for clearing that up. And I will reveal the um uh um energy drink. It is this rise. I saw this to me seemed interesting. A country time lemonade energy drink. I found this at the grocery store. It gives me protein or something, but it's an energy drink. It'll give me energy. But cheers to you, Willow Elman. Thank you for that. Tastes like Country Time Lemonade. Country Time Lemonade got in the energy drink game. Finally, I guess. What else was I gonna say? Sorry. I was gonna say some things. I have things to say. The other thing is, the JFK Jr. show. Um, I actually like that show. I think it's pretty good. Particularly the fight one with his girlfriend. I thought was pretty good. I would actually, as of right now, however far it is, because I'm up to date. I'm sort of into it, but I also know nothing about that guy. So if you do, I guess it's a little less maybe interesting. But I actually think it's cool and well acted. And I like the girl who plays his Carolyn Bessette. I think that's her name, or the real person, that not the actress. It's actually pretty good. It's kind of like an incredibly white people show, but it's like pretty good at it in a way that I don't see from a lot of stuff. Um, but no, I mean MF Doom's life isn't. Yeah, it's especially everything with his kid before he died. It is a Ryan Murphy show, but I think it's sort of. I don't think he's really involved. I don't mind it, like these, like it's very much like a TV movie thing, but it like kind of works within that. Anyway, sorry, I should move on. I put too many things in the thing. Here are more advisory things. I did not do a instant premiere for Arco because, like I said, if I do spoilers, I do not want someone to like, oh, there's an instant premiere, I'll check it out, and then suddenly you get spoiled. That's not. I don't want to do that to you guys. I think that's like, I know instant premieres help videos and stuff, but there's a certain point where I'm like, I don't want to, like, I don't want, like, if you're not a willing participant in getting spoiled, I think that's not cool. So, I don't talk about it fully. There's more for the ending I could have gone into, which I did not, but there is a warning and stuff like that. If you want to check that out, this is not going to become a trend. Is just by happenstance. I might put out something in the afternoon tomorrow. If that happens, there may or may not be an instant premiere, but after that, I have no. We'll go back to normal. So if you're like, oh man, this guy, we used to have so much fun on these instant premiere things, and now we don't. It's literally just these two things, and then it'll go back to like the shorts, and then movie crap, and then the movie review vote obviously won't be, because that would get confusing. So anyway, I just wanted to clear that up so nobody thought I was abandoning that. I don't have any other spoiler things coming up, but if I do or feel like it's something that just shouldn't go out like that, I won't, but I will specify it just so y'all know. And then hoppers. Here's my thing with hoppers is I am gonna see it. I want to see it with my kids. It might take a little bit, so just be cool. It's not that I am ignoring it or something. It's just life is busy and stuff like that. And so his birthday's coming up, and we're doing other stuff. And I think hoppers in a few weeks, so just it'll happen. Just be cool. I think that's it. I'm sorry that took so long. I don't think I have anything else to say other than what was the throwback? Scream 4 and then another one. Anyway, let's move on. I'm sorry. I feel like this small talk has gone on. I hope Cinram's okay doing these. All right, let's get it. Let's start off. This and everything I do is supported by you, the fans, either through Super Chat during the show, where you can give us. You can either give a Super Chat during the show, where I will drink this Country Time Lemonade energy drink. And every time we get to $20, I'll light up this Godzilla lamp. We get to 4.8, you can hear Godzilla roar like this. So that means you get the fart one, which I know you guys like more. So you got that. That's a free one. If we get to every 20 multiple, you get this. Every 40 multiple, you also get this. But there's also the Patreon, which has all sorts of cool stuff. You get postcards. Those were sent out last weekend, I believe. My commentary series is a new one of those coming up, as well as you get access to my my exclusive playlists and my public access show and all sorts of cool stuff like that. It also helps me continue to do what I did. Sorry, well, that made me laugh. What I do, and very much is appreciated if you financially are able to do so, but it's a cool Patreon. I think it's a cool Patreon. I need to like redo it soon, but if you want to get in there before, and you can just, if you get in there before, you can tell your friends, I was there before, it was cool, and I'll back you up. I'll even message your friends and tell them that. If you really want, I don't, sorry, this is weird. All right. Anyway, if you're financially able to do one of those things, I very much appreciate it. And thank you very much for the support. It helps me to continue to make these, everything like that. But if you are not, or also, I guess, just liking this video and subscribing helps the channel as well. If you would like to turn on notifications, you get notified on all the various things I do, whether it's videos or instant premieres or whatever, and community posts and all that stuff, you will get notified, which is pretty cool. And liking helps as well. But if you don't have an account and you're just watching and you're like, wow, this guy's a big beard or whatever, then thank you very much for being here. And yeah, I might get it cut soon. You know, and also the Discord, which is an awesome community. I always get compliments on you all. It's really wonderful, run by Cornbread, Zane Powers, Austin, and Ryan Walterson are the mods on there. They do movie watches every 2 weeks. A lot of cool interactivity. They do daily questions. They have the licensed playing card channel, and they have the game discussion where I actually asked a game question. There's the animation discussion. I'm going to watch a Smiling Friends video and respond to my thoughts on it. I haven't watched the Bedhead Bernie, I think, or whomever. I haven't watched it, so I don't know about the theories behind why Smiling Friends is ending. All sorts of cool stuff like that for me. You can ask me questions, but there's also a lot of cool people here. If you like everyone in the chat, it is a great place to go and hang out. Link is in the description, as well as the Patreon, Twitter, Tumblr. My TikTok's there. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with it now. Instagram, all those things are in the description of this video. Another thing, I want to mention this one thing, and then we'll do the show. I'm sorry. I am going to do an extra stream for Oscar reactions, which I always do. I'll wear the tux, and I will also be doing an extra stream probably the first Saturday of April, possibly. So just watch out for those. If or if you can watch these and you're always like, hey, I can never be here on a Thursday, those are 2 other dates, but I will let you know. And mods of Discord, I will let you know tomorrow, and I shouldn't have said that live without bringing it up first, so I apologize. Anyway, I I was just gonna say it April and I said it anyway, so my bad. Anyway, let's now do the show. Sorry. That was a long intro. I'll stop apologizing. The Scary Movie 6 trailer, or just Scary Movie trailer, came out this week, or it came out before Scream 7. It came out. It looked like a Scary Movie trailer. It looked like what a Scary Movie trailer is, or if the Wayans were in charge and all that stuff. Or which they are again, and it was fun. And I think most people, it like kind of reminded me like, yeah, this feels like Scary Movie. That's exactly what it feels like. It was called Scary Movie instead of Scary Movie 6, which I think is funny. And I don't know what that was. Oh, whoa, we got 2 in a row here. Happy Ted Thursday, Ted season 2 premiere today. Okay, cheers to you, Al Vasquez. Thank you for the super chat, and cheers to you, Ted. I didn't know it was Ted Thursday. Cheers to Ted. William almost said we need 2026 as the final year of the beard, and you shave it on the last stream of the year. No, I'm gonna keep the beard. Have I talked about the thing with the beard? The thing with the beard. Cheers to you, William. I think I'm gonna keep the beard for a while, but the thing with the beard is I kind of like having a beard again. But I will shave it when my son needs to shave. But when he needs to learn how to shave, I will shave my beard. Teach him how to shave, and then it's coming back. My one thing with that, well, he's 4, so I got at least a couple of years. So then I'll do it. But anyway, but I kind of like, I don't know. I like having a beard, but I've thought about I don't know. I've also thought about doing a picture every day when I cut it to when it gets really long. Then I'm like, what if I forget? It would be cool to see the beard grow, I guess. Anyway, maybe something like, I like that idea though. I wouldn't want to shave because I always I have cut myself really bad before, and I don't want people to see me do that. Anyway, Scary Movie. Sorry, the Scary Movie trailer. It looked like a lot of fun. It looked like it's parodying. It is already first off parodying Scream first, which I thought was cool because it is a bizarre idea because Scream is already sort of a parody. Uh, um, which is a weird because someone I heard a couple of people say it's like an echo chamber with an echo chamber, which I'm like, yeah, I guess in a sense it is a bizarre idea because Scream is already satirizing something to then make a a parody movie of that. I think it was fine. Oh, I know. I was just sorry. My brain does that. It did get moved up from it was going to be June 12th, but then it goes to June 5th. With that. So then afterwards, Marlon Wayans posted this thing, who is now like I don't know how Marlon got to be the official Wayans spokesperson because it used to always be Damon and Keenan Ivory Wayans, and I guess because neither of them probably want to deal with social media now. It's Marlon, which I'm like, okay, it's not going to be Sean, who did show up in the trailer. That was the one I was like, I want to see him. It's Sean, right? Or whoever his brother is. That Sean? Whoever the other Wayans is in these, who's also in Little Man and White Chicks. I think that's Sean Wayans. He was in it. I was happy that he was because I know he doesn't do a lot of stuff now. But he went on this whole thing about cancel culture. The thing about the Wayans, and I wanted to talk about this. They have for a long time, both Damon and Keenan Ivory Wayans, when asked about cancel culture, go on these weird rants. But I'll say when I watch at least when I watch In Living Color, and I'm probably more of an In Living Color Wayans guy than I am a Scary Movie guy. Um, uh, is they're kind of like too dumb to be offensive. Like it's too silly. Like when I watch the gay guys reviewing movies, at first I was like, "Oh no, is this going to be um really offensive? It doesn't age well." But I was like, "This isn't like um offensive. It's just kind of dumb." And I'm like, it's kind of like too silly to really hurt your feelings. You know what I mean? I don't think they're actually coming. Also, Marlon is like pretty liberal, particularly about I believe one of his kids is trans and stuff. So I don't I wish they wouldn't use that term, but I think they more just don't probably like when they tell people they're going to do a certain joke like they used to do back in the day. They go, "Oh no, don't do that." But I'm like, I think because of the unavailability of In Living Color, they don't really know what the sketches are, but if you watch you go, I mean this is not like what someone would do now, but they're also like not throwing out anything like super offensive. So I don't know. I wish they wouldn't say that. But if you really like go into Wayne's humor, it's like them is like white chicks. Like that's funny because it's so dumb. Like they're very much like do really dumb cartoony shit. Like that's what they are. I'm not trying to be insulted. They're very good at it. But like I wish they wouldn't use those like we're gonna cancel culture. I'm like I think it's just like don't say that because it's fucking lame. But I was disappointed they said that. Marlon said that. But I think this is a thing they've been harping on it for a while. So it's not for the Wayans family. This is a usual thing, but I think they don't like sensitive people are. They just like throwing out a million jokes. So we'll see. Maybe Scary Movie is offensive, but we'll see. I do think it's like good to have them back and they got the franchise back. It is also it is interesting they had it play before Scream. I don't remember the Scary Movie, the first one, playing before Scream 3, which came out I believe the same year. But maybe I'm wrong. I was wondering that. Anyway, but it did get moved up. It's going to be competing against Master Universe, which it's going to be an interesting weekend. This is going to be a stacked summer. This is really going to be a stacked summer, to be honest with you. All right, I'm going to just do trailers. This is a bit of a weird structure compared to most times. Apologies to Sinram doing the Superchats. You can just say trailers after the Scary Movie section. The first trailer is Lanterns. I don't understand what everyone's deal is with this because for a while we've been hearing it's like a gritty, down to earth, True Detective, Green Lantern thing, and then immediately people hated it for being that, and I'm assuming the people who got mad were not reading the news about what it was before. I like Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler together. It does seem like a bit like when he flies at one point in the trailer. That seemed like Kyle Chandler. It seemed like an odd fit, and I wish they'd show like more Green Lantern-y stuff, but it seemed like they were holding back a lot on that. But it looks promising. I will give it that. It does feel like I don't think they're embarrassed to be superheroes because they bring it up a lot. I just think they're intentionally hiding stuff. But it does seem like a good take on well, what if the Green Lanterns were actually in a gritty detective thing or a true detective thing? I think it's a decent, like, part of me is like, I'm like halfway there. I don't know if I'll watch it. I like Aaron Pierre from Rebel Ridge, so I'm down. Although I don't think I've liked him. I guess I saw Goat, so he was alright in that. The Lauren trailer, it looks fine. The best Saturday Night Live documentary I've ever seen is the one James Franco did about the making of an episode, which they didn't really. I think I don't even know if it's there, and they didn't treat it well and stuff. But this, I will say, the thing with the Lauren Michaels trailer is that it's released by Focus, which is a division of Universal, which releases SNL. So take it with the grain of salt that it is. It should probably just play on TV. I do not understand why it's in theaters, but it's like such a corporate brand uh, deposit kind of thing. I'm a little like, I don't. It looks fun, but I just like, it's like, if it was like by Disney, I'd maybe trust it more. But like, it's a Universal. It's NBC made it basically. William said, I was excited about Scary Movie 6. Then I watched the trailer and was like, oh yeah, all these kind of sucked. I did notice though, well, I will tell you this. I noticed a lot of people went, right, that's Scary Movie. Like, they were all for the Wayans getting the rights back, and then they forgot what the Wayans movies are. But then I heard other people going like, and White Chicks is coming back, and Little Man. I was like, okay, there's like clearly two camps. People who watch the Wayans a lot, and people who are like, no, I want them to have the rights back. Wait, what do you mean this is the movies they make? What? Anyway, I did notice that. Not going to say the demographics of those two people, but anyway, cheers to you, William Holland. I mean, I want them to come back. I do want, though, in living color, put it on a streaming service. It's like legit the best things they ever did. Um, they would put no, they would put a pro Palestine message. I actually believe that they are actually like, if you watch the old In Living Colors, you're like, you guys are like, anyway. As a cool time travel thing, we got Mike, Nick, and Alice trailer. It's about this guy. Vince Vaughn goes back to fight Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn has been having a little more fun and like playing with like Freaky, for example, and stuff like that. So I will say I want I'm down with this one. It seems fun. It's going to be on Hulu. It's Vince Vaughn, James Marsden, and that one lady, and it looks cool. We got a season trailer for Beef season 2. It looks fun. You get Oscar Isaacs and was it Natalie Portman and other people. Sorry. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Anyway, it looked fun. I like the first Beef. Austin said, "Do kids not know about Fire Marshal Bill?" Not a lot of people do. I will say the few times I've mentioned him, certain people get excited and other people are like, what are you talking about? Jim Carrey was on a show. So it's like, get that show on streaming, man. It fucking bugs me. It bugs me. I watch it. It's all on YouTube. Check it. Like, you'd be surprised how many good, like, I've rarely seen a bad episode. I'll just say that. Anyway, cheers to you, Austin. Other trailers. The trailer for Slanted, which is Sinram posted on the Discord. It's about this Asian girl who goes through basically a cosmetic procedure to become white. Basically, it's kind of interesting. It looks like just like a horror anthology hour thing taken to a movie. But I was like, I can see that. It's not getting a ton of buzz, but it seems like the post the substance, which seems to be going on a lot recently with that beauty Ryan Murphy show. Sorry, Ryan Murphy show, and we're seeing a lot more like things like that. So this seems to be another one, and good for it. It's cool. It had Mackenzie Grace, or girl from Ghostbusters Afterlife and Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Then we have Sunny. What was Sunny Nights? Oh, with Will Forte and the girl from um The Good Place, and they play tanning people. That looked like fun. I think that's also going to Hulu, if I recall correctly. And then we had In a Violent Nature 2, which looks like it got more into the Friday the 13th shit. It looks basically like a Friday the 13th sequel, but within Violent Nature. I watched In Violent Nature. I never reviewed it. Maybe I'll review it for 2 if things are slow or anything. But I thought it was it looked cool. In Violent Nature 2 was like, that looks like I could fall asleep with during that, and I would actually pause it and rewatch it or something. Oh, how's it going, Dan? I'm glad that you're here. I don't know what Pokemon Leaf Green is, but I'm glad to see you. Okay, Embletty with a super chat with for I don't know how much. I'm not good at what's it? Well, YouTube converts it for me. I'm not sure how much that is, but it said Sinners, Smile, and Long Legs are the only serious movies being parodied, and the rest had more levity. Like I already thought Terrifier was a comedy. I mean, that's I like that they did Terrifier because the Hollywood people forget about Terrifier. That is true. I am curious if they're going to do like how much A24 they're going to do, and first let's cheers to you, ability. Um, and how much like other pop culture things. But they're a little better at being, although they did get, what's funny is the was up scene. That like had just happened when they put it in the first scary movie, but that actually probably the one time where a parody movie did that and it worked and we still talk about it. Whereas all the other ones after everyone hated. With the was up scene, people still remember the was up scene in Scary Movie. But that like had just happened. You know what? Actually, that just hit me. That actually does work. That's what. Anyway, whatever. Although they made it into a and everything. All right, moving on to two animation movies that are coming out soon. We found out today, and we got a trailer. I think it was yesterday, but it really got posted more today by people as well as myself, but other people too, who probably people follow more. Which was Cartoon Saloon's new movie called Kindred Spirit. It looks really cool. It's basically about two Irish immigrants who come over to America and sort of befriend a Native American man. Apparently, there was a kind of back and forth between the Native Americans and the Irish people. And it's basically about like this little girl comes over with her brother, and then he dies boxing is how he makes money, and then he the Native American guy who he does boxing with takes care of his sister, but then the ghost of her brother follows them. It's really actually I thought this is a cool thing. It looked like the visuals look like kind of nuts and even more complex than we usually see from Cartoon Saloon. But I'm excited for it. It looks cool. I think it's not coming out until 2020, like a while, right? It's like 2020. You know when you tweet about something and then you're thinking like I can remember that and then you don't. I think I put it was like 2028, but I apologize. Yeah, it's not coming out till 2028, so don't get too excited. But it looks really good actually, and it's Tom Moore. Tom Moore is directing it. It's a new Tom Moore movie, but we'll get it expected in 2020, even though he had a trailer. But take your time, dude. We got 2 years. I'd much rather you take your time. We get a good movie than I get 2-3 movies that are okay in my mind. And I think Tom Moore deserves the patience. But I was surprised to find it, but I was also like, oh, we gotta wait a while. So, oh well. But thank you, Cartoon Saloon, for still being here. We also found out that Wild Robot or sequel called Wild Robot Escapes gets a director and a co-director. The director of the director of Nimona, Tori Quinn Menon. Anyway, the director of Nimona is back. He's doing Wild Robot Escapes, and also they promoted someone. This is something I really like. That animation studios do, and I guess happened to my friend who co-directed or guy I went to college with. He's cool. I haven't seen him forever. Who co-directed Goat? Heidi Jo Gilbert, who got promoted from like art department head of story to be a co-director on this. Good for her. I like that animation studios actually fucking do this. Everybody else in Hollywood is like, we need to make new directors. Animation studios literally do this all the time with their co-directors. Fucking awesome. Let's. I know it's like a thing. We're mainly talking about the Nimona guy, but it's really cool that they do this. I actually like that we're promoting people and getting more directors out there. So anyway, and also female directors. How many Hollywoods are creating more female directors? Nobody but DreamWorks. I'm not giving them a ton of credit, but like that, we have a system in place like that. That's pretty good. Chris Sanders is not directing; he's writing. I keep seeing rumors he'll be directing Lilo and Stitch live action 2. I don't. I didn't like that first one, so I think he could do a better job. Script wise, he did probably have a weird last year where he got. They didn't win, right? Something else won. Oh, Flow won Best Animated Feature, but he had like he got his return movie got nominated, got a lot of acclaim, and then his two other bigger movies got live action remakes. And I'm sure he's like, well, where do I go now with my career? Which is a really bizarre situation to be in. Anyway, but it sounds like he might be directing a second one. I think Disney's like, look, we fucked up with you with Lasseter. Let's like bring him back. So I think that's cool. But everything about Wild Robot Escapes, I'm okay with this news right now. I'd like to know more. I know it's a book. I haven't read it. I didn't even look up a description, but I like where they're headed with that. William Ellman, thank you very much for your generosity, dude. Said, I saw In a Violent Nature in the deep county of Missouri, and most of the theater vocally left 20 minutes in when they realized they got tricked into seeing a horror remake of Jerry the two. Oh my god, dude. That was like a big art school movie for me. I have not watched that in so long. I think you're right. I need to. People would. Art school people, first off, we can do the Godzilla thing. We're actually close to the. Thank you for your generosity, William. And a big cheers to you, man. Cheers. Man, Jerry. Is Jerry the one with. Am I getting Jerry 2000? It's one with like. Yes, Matt Damon, Casey Affleck. It's been. So, I don't really remember it, and I don't think I was totally sober when I watched it, but I remember kids freaking the fuck out about that. It was like a big art school movie when I went to film school. Which I don't think kids now even know about it. But man, that takes me back, man. Thank you for that. That I thought about the movie like a month ago. I was like, is that like good or like do I just remember it like that? Anyway, that's interesting. That's interesting. Um, I do think that's a. People act like it's a hard. I've heard people say it's a hard watch, but I'm like, is not Halloween, the opening of Halloween, and most of the first Friday the 13th basically in a violent nature? But I guess like it wasn't being artsy about it, and it wasn't that artsy. I just think people are whatever. Jerry was not a big movie unless you were in film school in the early 2000s. You would not know what Jerry is. I'm gonna say that right now. 186. Oh, you should have done 187. Mattel Butterfly. I would have sang the Snoop Dogg song. His first big song, by the way. We almost got. I like that we're like 40 cents away from Godzilla screaming. That's funny though. 186. Anyway, sorry. I appreciate that. Hello, Javier Portello. It's just funny you did 186 and not 187 on an undercover cop. I remember that. Anyway, sorry. This almost made the thumbnail this story, but I figured Max Landis's ugly ass face shouldn't be on there, so I just went with Scream. This is both not good, but also not as crazy as people think. And I want to explain this whole thing with that statement there. There is a Paramount. We're going to talk about that later, but the Paramount, the Paramount. Hello, Inc. 1931. That's an interesting name. Or I guess the numbers are YouTube. Hello, Inc. Sorry. They're making a GI Joe movie, and apparently they're combining two different scripts. One from that was announced from Max Landis, and one from Danny McBride. They're supposedly going to be combining those two scripts after they're done. That is not unusual in Hollywood. It happens quite a bit. Sometimes they mix up scripts, they take parts from others. That's not as crazy as certain people like. That's a horrible way to do screenwriting. Yeah, it is, but studios do it. I don't like it. But yeah. But however, though, the Max Landis thing, I don't understand why you want Max Landis back. Supposedly, from what's being reported, the people at Paramount were like, we'll do Ellison a favor and let Max Landis in the room. And basically, like the pitch was a favor. And if you know anything about the rise of Max Landis, he is very good in a room, and he is still good in a room because he got a script offer of a thing that they were just like, you just do this guy a favor, like, and then we'll go to lunch. And then they liked his pitch, supposedly. So apparently he did actually win the room over, is what's being reported. Maybe that's not true or something. I think Max Landis. Did I not drink? Did I drink your thing? Anyway, if I didn't, Nadella Butterfly, here you go. I apologize. You said that, now I'm worried I didn't. Anyway, so a lot going on. So if I ever don't, call me on it. I don't like Max Landis. Chronicle is fine. Like it's just like found footage Akira, and it's like good in changing those things, and I enjoy it for that. But Max Landis, like American Ultra, wasn't really that good. I don't remember liking any of the others, like Bright. I did like people bring up the Bright tweet where it's like, if Bright, if directed well, could be my Star Wars, which is I don't I I don't know. I think the thing with G.I. Joe is it's sort of a weird franchise because it's like got laser guns and like sci-fi shit, but most people just see it as pro America, and it's like kind of like I think the second one kind of got it a little more, but you just kind of have to go into the ridiculousness, and like Paul Verhoeven is probably the guy who should be making a G.I. Joe movie. Everybody else is gonna go into it. But I do. We'll talk more about Paramount's motivation behind that and everything. But the combining scripts is not unusual, and a lot of times one script wins out and they just steal a few scenes or something. I don't know why people are saying that. Every industry reporter is like, "That's not weird. Why are you being weird about it?" The two of them, the two screenwriters, Danny McBride and Max Landis, being combined, that is a little weird. But the practice is not as weird. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying there's a lot of precedent. So just don't be weird, weirdos. Not you, but the other people. In other movie news, we learned that there's an Astro Boy live action movie with Jason Reitman and Gil Keenan producing. They're looking for writers. Supposedly, this is really actively happening. I think the thing with Astro Boy, and it is Sony who is more thinking of a Japanese audience there, is that like just make a good animated, like to me, like get a good like a Gendy or a Craig McCracken or a good animation auteur, give them Astro Boy, then bring it back, then do a movie. You just make a really good American Astro Boy show. Um, but yeah, no, look, Cinram, I agree. They were never going to hire Verhoeven. I'm just saying that would be the best option. That would be the best G.I. Joe movie. Like they could never make an if Verhoeven did it. But like, come on, I don't care if it flops. It's not my, it's not my money. I just go see him. I don't have to invest in them. But no, I agree. They probably realistically that's stupid. Uh, what I said. All right, let's go through how many stories, and then I'm trying to. Oh. The only worthwhile thing Max Landis ever did was introduce Rich Evans to the works of Neil Breen. You know, hey, I every franchise should have a Gendy reboot, a Gendy spinoff. First off, I believe we were across. I'll keep the thing going because we're across the 40 mark, and I'll do the Godzilla fart sound here. Do you want me to do it? Because it was an actual. We actually got there, guys. I'll do it. Hold on. I have to have what I call my monitors, but it's just OBS. Here, go right in the screen. There, go. There we go. Good Godzilla. Anyway, cheers to you, Oliver. Cheers to you. Um, why he got to go on Red Letter Media? There should have been a congressional hearing about that. Supposedly I keep hearing with Project Hail Mary. I've been hearing good advice, um, good word on Project Hail Mary for a very long time now. Um, which is good, but they keep saying there's no CG shots in the film and like all this stuff. I don't know what's going on. I do think they want to like build it up and stuff. I think the thing with this movie though is I think he can build, like Super Mario is a monster, and I don't know. To me, it's like that should come out in the fall because I know they have Oscar hopes for it, but we'll see. But apparently, it doesn't have any CG shots. I hope I like Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I hope they can do it as directors. I mean, it's weird they haven't had a live action movie since 22 Jump Street. Um, but yeah. Supposedly Teyana Taylor keeps saying she wants to do a one battle after another kind of spin off, and she used Bother Polly Thomas Anderson. I don't know if that's really possible, but she's really for it, so I wouldn't mind a spin off, but I don't know. I would like her to be in other stuff that's not the Rip and stuff. Like have her be the lead in an action movie. Like the whole time I was watching it, I was like, damn, she could really lead an action movie. And then like she's in the Rip and she's like fifth on the call sheet or something. It's like, come on. I actually think she could be a really cool Jedi, but I know that'll never happen because of the Star Wars. We learned these are a few just quick things. Sinram, you can just label as quick things. You don't have to label as three things. I just want to give Sinram a break here. Abbott Elementary has been picked up for its 6th season. Sherilyn Ralph, for the record, said she wants it to run to season 10, not 10 more years. She says she wants it to run 10 years total. I sort of agree with her on that. Although it's still good. I don't dislike the show at all. I still think it's very solid. I do think it's going to run into like, I think it could run better than Modern Family. I think Modern Family, I was hopped off at that point, and I'm still very much on that. Although I am behind on the Abbott Elementary train. I really like that show. Seth MacFarlane, who's been on the press tour, says, no, I know they aren't directing this part. They won an Oscar for producing them, but yeah, they're not directing. Seth MacFarlane said he's actually not sure about what's going on with the Naked Gun reboot sequel. He isn't sure what's going on with Paramount and everything, and he's like doesn't know. So we're not sure still. But supposedly it's still like the option is there. We'll see if it happens. And then we learned that Ben Kingsley is in Sonic 4. So that's cool. I like Ben Kingsley. I haven't finished Wonder Man at all, but he was good in that, and I think he would have fun in Sonic 4. He's into his fun era, I think, at this point. In news that probably only I care about is the Gem show is going to finish, and a comic's going to finish off the storyline from the animated series. Sounds like a good move to me. I probably will never read this comic, but I'm just letting people know. All right, now let's go on to other things. Or no, this is one other thing. Zootopia 2 is coming on Disney Plus on March 11th. So if you wanted to see it again or whatever, it'll be on Disney Plus on March 11th. All right, now actual things. Sorry, I'm just like seeing where I'm at on this. Okay. I would like to start the Paramount thing at 11:30 or around there. So let's hope for it. No, they don't make any sense. Dan, you are right. So the Jonathan Majors and Zachary Levi in the Daily Wire, what they say is the opposite of sinners. I'm like not sure. I think they're like so into being like we're not woke. They didn't think of like the opposite of sinners would be like a Klan movie though. Like that's not like what? Like do you know what that means? Like I don't. Did you see Sinners? I just don't think you could make the opposite of Sinners. I think the opposite of Sinners is not something you would like. I just don't. I don't know. But apparently it's Jonathan Majors, Zachary Levi. I know there was some talk of getting Jonathan Majors back, but it didn't really work out. But anyway, I don't know how that will work. To me, it's probably just a shitty movie, and they're just saying it's a good press. But the opposite of Sinners to me is like, so there'll be black people trying to come in to Zachary Levi and his brother. I'm so lost. Is that what it is? They would definitely be Klan, right? They're just definitely like that's what that means. Like, did they know that? They know that, right? I mean, it's the Daily Wire. They know that. Anyway, Black Sabbath still said just got back from the gym and Walmart. Paul Blart. Epic night you have there. I mean, to be honest, if I did those things, I would lay on the couch and die. So that's not a joke. That is an epic night. Cheers to you, Blacksy. I would be like, I'm tired. I don't want to. I went to Walmart and I bought a thing. Sorry. Jonathan Majors has the same problem that Nat Turner from when he did the Birth of a Nation thing and he had his controversy. Just like don't do crazy ass interviews. That like never works out. And it's like they probably would have gotten through it, but they did so many crazy stupid interviews that everyone went like, oh god. Anyway, they're both like I think they showed that Hollywood that they were insane people because both were offered like major, crisis teams and stuff and like turned it down like, no, I got this. And like, oh boy. Nate Turner, or whatever his name is, I don't hear anyone bringing it off anymore. He really he didn't get canceled. That guy got fucking erased. We also learned as much as we're talking about Bond casting, there is apparently a Bourne casting going on. It will not be Matt Damon. And there's possibly it could be a Black Bourne or something like that. No one's really sure. but there are talking about casting a new Bourne. We might hear about that soon. We might hear about that next week. But there is a lot of talk about that. I don't know who it would be. I'm not a big Bourne person at all. I just don't. I don't really like him. I think the cut up action sequence thing is just like there is an art to it. Like I eventually like came around to it, but I used to like really hate that shit. Like I just like never got into it. And then I learned like, wait, he just got waterboarded. I thought it was like some crazy science shit. He just got waterboarded. I feel like you'd remember stuff, but I don't know. I've only been waterboarded like once or twice. So what do I know? In I would say sad news, Bruce Campbell announced that he has cancer. He said it is treatable but not curable, and he's basically like coming back, not coming back, pulling back on conventions and stuff like that. Um, this is a sad announcement to me. Bruce Campbell's also always been a cult figure, a big cult figure. To me, like I think it was like Evil Dead when I was a kid. This is before the first Spider-Man came out. My senior year of high school, the end of my senior year of high school. So the rite of passage when you were a comic, like coming into the comic book store, which I did, was see Evil Dead 2. So I do take Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell very seriously. You know, it wasn't like a um gatekeeping thing. It was like, hey, it's your time. You know, it's like here you go, here's this classic, and from Bristow County to everything. So I am sad about this, and I've always loved Bruce Campbell, and he's always been like this cheesy, fun dude to me, and it's sad to hear that he's going through it. I hope, but I like that he was very he chose to be very transparent and everything like that. But he you know, if chins can kill, but I hope he's okay. But I think, you know, he's been doing it for a while. He's been doing a lot of movies for a long time. I think he needs to work, heal himself. To be honest, if I were to say to him like, dude, you have a pretty amazing legacy regardless of anything. Like I really do mean that. From the Spider-Man movies to Ash to like everything, honestly, like just rest and take care of yourself. Like you don't need to, I mean financially I don't know what you need to do, but like legacy wise you are good, man. You've done so much for all of us. So I hope we'll see, but I hope he is I don't know, sad to talk about that. So in my favorite news of the week, this is less depressing, is the Supreme Court struck down, declines to hear dispute over the copywriting of AI generated material, saying copyrighted material has to be made by a human. So basically, none of your AI art legally has any value. This is actually true. The Supreme Court said legally, I could make a YouTube video of me saying hi, and it would be a YouTube short, you know, and then not a joke here, it would be more valuable than anything you ever do with AI at this current juncture. The Supreme Court basically just said I could literally do anything and make it and put it out, and it has more copyright protection than stupid AI. What I'm saying is you lose, and please, I want this bubble to pop. I hate that. I mean, I don't, because the financial repercussions for all of us, but I'm going to turn this off. Sorry to the, but I just think it's hilarious. Like they tried again, and I heard it was coming, and I was like, oh, they're gonna, you know, they're kind of Trump Supreme Court, and then they were like, nah, no, no. I do find it funny that all these companies want people to use AI, but it undervalues uh, the profits of any company, because you can sign confidentiality agreements, but you can't sign things that aren't legally, you can't copyright it, so it's actually can't even really be property. So it's like really worthless, which I find hilarious. So anyone who tells you AI, no, the times will turn. Well, it ain't yet, so I don't have to pretend like it's, you know, worth anything legally. All right, here are some quick things. I guess there hasn't been many Mystery Science Theater updates in terms of any more movies and stuff, but they are going to do the info club, and there is going to be bumper stickers. So yeah. No, I know you, Bloxy. I know you're right. I'm taking just this little victory. I know they will turn the copyright thing. I know Trump wasn't happy about it, but the fact that like they're not changing with it, I'm sure they're going to figure out something at some point. But that's it's also like it's not really even technology wise where it should be. The fact that we're investing all this money in it, also, Carla the Collector, which I'm talking about for no reason at all, won Best Writing and Series Initiative at the Daytime Emmys. Congrats to Carla the Collector. It is definitely one of. Oh, hello, William. I didn't know. Well, I hope your boss is okay. And I hope you're okay, man. Thank you for coming back. Uh, yeah, it is one of the best PBS kids shows. I will say, I put it there with like, it's like, what's it called? Odd Squad. That's the one they watched. Carl the Collector. Dinosaur Train. It's definitely in the rotation. Let me just say that. Um, and then two sequences we thought were missing from 80s movies. One, in a lesser extent, I guess, Superman 4, there's a Metro After Night sequence. I've never seen Superman 4, actually. I'm sort of saving it for, like, maybe the next Superman. It's like, I forget which Superman movies I haven't seen. I think or reviewed. It's the only one I haven't reviewed, I think, at this point. But I won't really want to do Superman Returns last time, so sorry. Or the Donner cut of Superman 2. But those are my two left. But there's an unseen Metro Club scene with Christopher Reeves and Margot Hemingway, I think. Marlo Hemingway. Anyway, it was found. It's restored. Go check it out if you want to, if you're into Superman 4. And then there's a Gremlins rough cut that somebody found all this footage and contacted Joe Dante, and then he sent them more footage. So they're working on a 3-hour Gremlins rough cut. But I don't think, it seems like, messing up, sort of. It seems like that they are not going to, it's not really what Joe Dante wanted. It seems to just be a fan thing. But if you're into Gremlins and you want that extra footage, like, go off. You know what I'm saying? That's cool with me. No, it's Carly Collector is a good show. Austin's not here. We're like praising. Sorry, Austin's missing. We're talking about Carl the Collector. All right. No, I'm Superman 4 is probably for Mana tomorrow. I am Supergirl though. I'm excited for that. To review that. I've been waiting to see that my whole life and just didn't. You know those movies where you like look in the video store, I'm like, one day. And now there's no video stores, and I'm like, one day. That's Supergirl. Alright. We're gonna talk about now that the stream is all jittery and people are showing up. It always shows up when there's a lot of people here. I've noticed that. I've noticed that YouTube does that to me. It's every now and then someone says you're Shadow Man, and I'm like, bitch, it's my life. What are you talking about? No, I mean AI is. I'm glad the kids are. Whoa, what's going on here? All right, let me. Okay, I'm just gonna. Hold on. Let me come back to it, and then we'll do. We'll talk about. Hold on. I'm not taking a break. I'm. I like to have one up of like how you guys see it. Maybe that's a stupid idea. Man, what is up with the free? But anytime I see the thing, it's like, oh, there's like a lot of people here. It's like we're gonna freeze. Am I not? It looks like I'm not anymore. Okay. Um. Are we? Okay. Um. Okay. It looks we're okay now. So we're going to talk about. So the Paramount WB Netflix stuff. This is all about that. If you wanted to miss this section, I put it late in the show. If you want to see this section, that's why Sinram does an amazing job with the timestamps. I hope he is. I hope you're okay, Sinram. All right. So basically, as we talked about before, it's a $110 billion deal. Paramount won the bid basically of Warner Brothers. They're going to pay Netflix $2.8 billion to kill the deal. So Netflix doesn't get a studio, but gets nearly $3 billion. This is a shareholder thing. Supposedly Ted Sarandos met with, or he did, we know, I think I talked about it last week. He met with the White House. He was meeting with Trump. He left, and 20 minutes later, the deal was closed. He said he denied that had anything to do with it. It was like a separate thing, which seems fishy to me. However, Trump does own about like $2 million in Netflix's debt, which is crazy. And their stock price went up when the deal was killed, and they got $2 billion. So Netflix, if there's ever a winner in this, it's probably just Netflix. But they did leave the White House thing rather quickly and stuff. It seems a little sus. Maybe there's a history of this. We'll learn more of what Trump said to them. Um, but yes, the combined company, it's either 100 billion or 75 billion dollars of debt, is being considered a junk stock at this point. It's in junk status because it has so much debt, and it's expected 18 months to close this. However, Paramount has been able to do this rather quickly, so it might be sooner. But at this time, we're expecting this all to close in September of 2027. There's a lot of regulatory stuff, and a lot of people are talking a good game. I don't think they will do shit about it. I think it will just happen because that is this world we live in now. But yeah, Paramount. Uh, but they have this will probably be done quickly than usual. But a lot of people are saying it'll probably finalize in September of 2027 or close to it. So maybe August, July, something like that. But we're not. It's not going to be closing this year, or at least we think. I mean, it's possible, I guess, but I wouldn't. It would be like later this year, maybe. But to me, I think they're going to be weird and push this out. And a lot of people are going to talk about it because this is going to be. And I want to preface this is that it is going to be a fucking bloodbath. People are going to lose their jobs. Upwards of 16 billion of cuts are going to happen to the companies. Like there's a lot of redundancy. There's a lot of cost saving measures that will not take care of their debt, but it's going to be really fucking bad. That is a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. I do think that's why I was saying like the rise of independent production is going to get wild because you're going to have a lot of people even at high price like lawyer jobs and all this stuff are going to be looking for jobs and they will take on an independent production they wouldn't otherwise do, which I think like Paramount Warner Brothers are not thinking about. They're thinking about this crazy thing they're going to have. They're not thinking about like they're letting all these people go and what they'll do to people. A lot of people just lose their jobs and it's going to be very hard for a lot of people and it's fucking horrible for all the people who are going to lose their jobs because of this merger. But the other thing is Paramount Plus and HBO Max. At this time, we're to understand that they will combine to one streaming service. We do not know what the name of that will be. A lot of people have suggested it will just be called Paramount Plus, and like HBO will be a tile in that, and Adult Swim will be a tile in that. But other people have been like, "Won't you have like 20 billion fucking tiles?" Sorry if this is boring. If anyone wants to do a super chat to lighten the mood, now would be a good time. I'm just going through all the facts so you get them and stuff. But no, yeah, as I did a joke on Discord, what do you think the new name will be? I'll get to the 30 films a year. I haven't even gotten to that. I think it'll be a mess, but there is kind of a lot of reports it'll just be Paramount Plus, and that the people associated with HBO are kind of pissed off that HBO is just going to be in there, but I don't know. I mean, the combination of the two streaming services, I think, could work out. Like I have both, but apparently, like there are a lot of subscribers who do have both. So how are they going to handle that? How much is it going to cost? Like Paramax, that's nice. I like that's the name. Um, okay, there's like I'm sort of just going over a lot of stuff yet. There's 6 billion in redundancy, 16 billion layoffs. So let's talk about the 15 films thing. Have you seen the MST3K, The Devil Doll 1936? Recently, I did, and that episode is a sleeper hit in retrospect. The Devil Doll. Hold on. Let me make sure I did. I think I have. What? Devil Doll. Yes, I have. I have seen that. I remember that being okay. I haven't watched it in a long time, though. Hold on a moment. I haven't watched it in a long time. Cheers to you, sir. Thank you for reminding me of that. I definitely saw it like maybe when it aired at first. I don't know. I didn't realize that was the 30s movie. Some of those, man, it's been a while. Cheers to you. What were we gonna say? So, what their projected thing is basically that they're gonna have two studios. Each studio will release 15 films per year, so a total of 30 movies through both. A lot of people are saying that this does not mean they will be greenlighting 15 movies. They'll probably be acquiring a lot of stuff. There's been rumors of like they'll be interested in acquiring anything because they really want to make this 15 films a year because they need to make money. No one's really sure what that's all going to be. There is some like weird things with this because basically they're saying for each of these 15 films will get a 45-day theatrical window, which is amazing. Which I guess means then they'll go to their huge streaming service and stuff. Which is why I got Paramount Plus in the first place, because they were putting things on there rather quickly, which I think they will continue to do. But they will probably acquire. I'd assume they're going to acquire a few films to make that 15, because apparently they are a little bullish about that. But there was like this theatrical union. A couple people have said there are not. This is a weird quote, and I looked it up, and it's a real thing. They keep saying um, there aren't 30 dates in a year. And I'm like, what? There's 52 weekend. What are you talking about? And I keep reading that from theater owners saying like, and I guess they mean there aren't like 30 good weekends, but I would say the box office in 2026 is very different than what it was pre-pandemic. And you can have a big weekend. I would say the only month you really can't is like only two are like January, October at this time. And I still think you could if you promoted it correctly. I don't think audiences are as like used to be like what's coming out more other than Thanksgiving and Christmas time. You really no one's just going to the movies to go to the movies. So like I really do. It used to be Memorial Day and July 4th and stuff. That is dead. I mean, it's still there, but not to the extent it used to be. But Thanksgiving, obviously. But I just think like you can do that, but it seems like there's a lot of weird doubts about that. Which I'm like, I don't know if they actually will do the do 15 films a year, but to me, like people saying these weird quotes is like I don't. Maybe they have a reasoning behind it, but I'm like you can do 30 films a year and ignore January and October. So like, because September was huge last year with the Demon Slayer and Conjuring and stuff. So like I think you could, but I find it very odd. Um, you know, people have said like theatrical re-releases, but that is not something you typically count as under your. You'd have to be a big re-release, and like Warner Brothers, you could do that with like a Wizard of Oz or The Matrix or something, but you can't really do that too much. So I just don't. I've heard people say that Will and Will Studios, but I don't know. I think what will happen is they'll acquire shit, or they'll make a lot of really cheap horror movies. That's they're like give that guy a knife, go into the woods, come back on Monday, and there's a movie, and we're good. And who's a TV star who wants to be in a movie? Like you could do something like that, which I think is more likely than the concert movie thing or something like that. But they haven't done everything. The only thing we do know is it does seem like they will be into military stuff because they have Call of Duty, they have G.I. Joe, and they have Top Gun 3 all in development. They have made things that they want to make more military stuff. They want to appeal to, basically the the uh the red state crowd, the people who made American Sniper a huge hit, who see movies, if you get to. I do think we'll see like I think Call of Duty will probably do well because the name brand. I don't know enough about it. Y'all in the chat can debate on whether it would be a good movie, but it does seem like they want to do more of the military stuff. People have brought up that like Active Valor didn't cost that much and they could do stuff like that. I think that's a very isolated case. You can't really do Active Valor wasn't that big. I think they want stars, and if you want stars, it's going to cost money. So we'll see, but it does seem like there has been talk about more military kind of stuff, which I do think, yes, that could appeal to a different demo. And if you're being a studio, just talking business wise, not moral wise, I think that could work. But like some of them, like what's that one? The Mark Wahlberg one, was it like Lone Survivor or whatever that was? A lot of that is not good. Like get a good military. Hollywood used to when you had like John Ford and Wellman, you had good military movie directors, and now you have like the blandest, no perspective other than America's great people. And I like those people who could be like, America's great, but it also sucks. I want more of those guys. Get one of those guys, please. I know they won't. Whatever. These are my last Paramount things, and I will just talk about Netflix. And there's an interesting thing about Netflix. So don't fall asleep. I know this is the industry stuff part. I feel like people like, but I hope it's not too boring. Sorry. Call of Duty, nice Sodberg. Um, like hero's duty. Um, We don't know what's going on with Skydance, who merged with Paramount. Skydance stuff, we're not sure. And specifically Skydance Animation, there's been no heads up on that. So basically, yes, I'm saying we don't know how John Lasseter figures into any of this. It does seem like they're kind of just letting him have Skydance Animation and not having him fuck with anything else. However, when they did the first merger, they specifically mentioned what the deal with Lasseter is, and they have not. I'm not saying there's any news on anything, but that he's just there uh doesn't that doesn't make me feel good. Does that make you feel good? I don't love that. So we'll see what's gonna happen with that, but there really hasn't been an announcement on Lasseter. A few pundits have brought up that the Lasseter stuff is not great. That we're that we haven't heard anything about Lasseter is kind of crazy. A lot of you are also insinuating. Well, also that apparently with all the with this deal, they now have like 27 major cable networks between Paramount and Warner Brothers. This would be a huge, like, in terms of cable business, they'll be making a lot of money. And they'll have a lot of power through that, as well as CBS, which is a major network, which Paramount already has. So it's really going to be really curious how they're going to run all those things. I didn't get into the news stuff and Barry Weiss and like Anderson Cooper left Paramount to then go to Warner's, then Warner's got bought, and what people who did that are going to do, and like how Gail King stuck around, and like everyone else who's uh black basically left but Gail King and stuff like that. I don't have anything, but Lassiter worries me, but the new stuff I don't really. They killed 60 Minutes, which I think was a dumb move financially to do it that way. Anyway, um, these are the few Netflix things, and then we'll move on to box office. Thank you all for your patience. But I wanted to bring that up. But basically, with Paramount, they have a lot of debt, they have a lot of power. It looks like a bunch of military shit. And yeah, if you want to send me anything silly, I guess, before we talk about box office. But as for Netflix, there is actually some good news here. They did get almost $3 billion. Most people are saying, oh, they're just going to buy sports rights, which I'm like, probably, but it doesn't. They haven't even mentioned that. The one thing Ted Sarandos has talked about is while he was dealing with the Warner Brothers merger, he's talked to a lot of theater owners, um, because he had to deal with that to get the Warner Brothers thing up, like to hopefully get it working. And because of that, there's a good chance they will start doing movie theater stuff and doing wide releases and things like that. And the other thing with the Netflix deal, the thing with that is Netflix was buying Warner Brothers because they wanted to expand and they don't have anywhere to go at this point. They're sort of like at the top of streaming and they're not going to be YouTube. So they need to expand in some way. But the only way they can expand is to basically go to theaters now because the Warner Brothers thing got killed. So we're actually in a weird space with them where they might actually have to do theatrical because they have no other place to go to build the business. So we might, like, this isn't a joke. They might have to go to theaters because otherwise they will never they have nowhere else to go, and they're literally saying they'll do it. So hey, that's some good news. We might get through this. Netflix got more money, and they might go to theaters. So we'll see. They might just like have sports rights and nothing will happen. That's like the most likely scenario, unfortunately. But there is a possibility that they will now be releasing more things to theaters because they're like, well, what else are we gonna do? We can't buy anybody, so we got to find new revenue somehow, and that's like a way apparently that's opened up for them. So that's like a weird thing that's going to happen with the Netflix theater thing that they might actually do. There's like major indications they will, and Ted Sarandos has openly said we're kind of more open to it now. So maybe that's what changes. That would be interesting development out of all this. You know, Warner Brothers and Paramount ruined everything, but Netflix will have movies in theaters. Cool. William Ullman said, Jim, the theater that showed a 3D print of Dial from Her told me they'll screen Goodbye to Language by Jean-Luc Godard. Is it worth watching again to see that dog in 3D? I will say, I did see that movie in 3D. Maybe I don't know if I told you that or told it on stream or something. I coughed a lot. So I think if anyone saw they said Goodbye to Language in 3D, and there was a dick who coughed a lot. That was me. But it was an amazing experience. I didn't review it, and I should have at the time. But it was a really good. It was really cool in 3D, and like I think it like brought up things in 3D, and he messes it. It was cool. I remember that one in there. But thank you for your generosity, William. And cheers to you. We can turn on. Why did I put the switch up there? Anyway, cheers to you, man. But I would recommend. I would go see that again. Almost hit myself there. I would see that again. That's a good one. All right, let's talk about. Let's do the box office. I'm bringing this up on my computer this time, so we'll see if I should have just done the phone again. What? That's not. Come on, not weekly. I mean, that is my fault. Whatever. All right. So this past weekend, Scream 7, despite everyone saying they're not going to see Scream 7 and it won't open well and it getting bad reviews, and there's like a lot of indications Scream 7 wasn't going to do well. Yeah, that is not true. It did really well and it made $63 million and opened the biggest Scream opening of all time. So clearly, you know, I was talking about how like earlier, like the ban thing or the boycott things confused me as much as people were like, we're going to boycott TikTok. And then a week later, I was like, why are you on TikTok? I thought we're not boycotting. It's confusing. And this keeps me confused. I don't know what the fuck's going on with the Scream movies. I thought we were doing it, but it's the 9th best horror opening ever. It's the best Scream opening ever. 20 million higher than the last one, which is a huge indicator. It might end up being the highest grossing Scream movie, and it completely outgrossed number 4. So I think I talked about this opening. Did I talk about Scream movies? No, I got confused by the super chat thing. Sorry about that. But so I watched Scream 4 while I was doing other stuff, and that was like not good. And then through Pluto, I saw parts of Scream 5 and Scream 6, and I kind of went, I think Scream movies after the first 3, like I really just like 1, and then I'm okay with 2 and 3. But I was like 4 and 5 are like, and 6 are like fine to okay to I don't need to see again. And I was like, I just don't want to deal with 7. It I was boycotting because they fired Melissa Barrera, but yeah, this is a huge like I was actually about to say this. There's a disconnect between people online and um between people online and people in real life, but like it is crazy. The reaction was so much the other way. I was a little surprised by that, specifically because I don't remember great things about the other Scream movies. I don't know, to me it's like the thing with Scream is uh why not either make a stab movie, which I think you should definitely do, or like actually acknowledge more of the horror that's going on now. But then apparently, like I looked up and I think I tweeted or skeeted or whatever, the stab movies aren't being made anymore in the Scream universe, which I'm like, well, what are we even doing? Like, I don't know. I think they really need to like don't have Scream movies about Scream movies. Have a Scream like make an A24 Scream movie. Like do something different with it. It's a franchise that really needs like a fun thing, but anyway, but I was proven like last weekend I was like kind of revisiting the 3 Scream movies post the original ones, and I was like, man, these are like not very good. It's just you know, man, it's Scream 4 when you learn the villain and then she goes on this rant about social media. I'm like, that came out of nowhere. It really, really came out of nowhere. Maybe not totally nowhere, but I don't know. I don't think I'll see. I was sort of like, I'll just not deal with it, and now I'm just like, I don't even want to deal with it. Maybe when Scream 8 comes out, I'll change my mind, but I just it just doesn't look interesting to me, and but I am disappointed that it was did so much better just in terms of like both watching movies, and it's like they did. I don't even like Melissa Barrera that much. It's just like the idea that she was fired for that. It's the thing. It sucks. I really wanted Scream 7 to have a joke about stabby movie. I like that. Cheers to you, Cinderella. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Only moment. I was sad. I caved and bought tickets while watching the film. I mean, I get it though. Cheers to you, one moment. I get it because the first scream was such a part of my like film viewing life that I felt weird about not seeing it. But then, like, I think watching those other Scream movies, I did go, oh, maybe I shouldn't feel weird. Like, maybe I'm just like, just not seeing good movies way too many times. You know, it's just like, I don't know. That would actually be an interesting. I was just thinking this. Sorry, this just occurred to me. What is the longest run of horror movie sequels that are really bad before there's a good one again? Like, because I think Freddy, like, you go from, I consider the fourth Nightmare on Elm Street good, but then it's like 5, 6, and then seven's New Nightmare. And Friday the 13th, like, I like Jason X, and like that one, like, kind of dips in and out, but like, I Scream might have a longer run than like, it's like Halloween had a pretty long bad run. I'm curious, like, what is the horror movie that had the longest bad sequel run? I mean, it's probably like a shitty one like Leprechaun, but that's not fair because Leprechaun was never that good. So, like, what was a. I wonder who could. I don't know how to phrase that. Saw? Yeah, it's probably Saw. Never mind. I'm killing this. Forget it. But, like, there's some that have that. Scream is up there at this point because I would say at least three that are like, subpar. Supposedly they were gonna. I mean, Cinema, I would say the first David Gordon Green one was decent. And then I actually like Halloween Ends, but I think it would have been better if it was not a Halloween movie. It was just a horror movie. It'd be great. Why'd they have to ruin it with like the Michael Myers? They really anyway. Goat was actually number 2 this weekend. It's I think presently the highest grossing movie of the year, but I think Scream might break it at this point. I'm not sure. But it's only going down about 28%. It's holding really well, but that is until this weekend when Hoppers comes out and destroys it. Then Wuthering Heights is falling pretty dramatically further than people expected. It fell 52%. I'm not totally surprised, but it is like it probably won't break 100 million here, but it is going to cross $200 million worldwide. So it's doing well. It's more of an international play, it seems. I think it very much works out for Margot Robbie because it's her production company. It's a director that she shepherded through her production company. It's all aces for her. I don't think when people are like, oh, it's not living up to Barbie, nobody thought Wuthering Heights was making Barbie money. I think the expectations of this movie were wildly stupid, and they were not from the studio. But I think this did fine. But she's making money basically. You don't be worried. It's fine. Sun Help is also doing really good. Only went down 35%, which is awesome, even though it's only made 15 million, but it's still holding well. As well as Zootopia 2 is now, this is its 14th week in the top 10. It's at number 10, $425 million in America, the highest grossing 2025 movie domestically. Is definitely getting knocked out. It's going to lose any theater it has left. Disney's not letting that hang out. But yes, Zootopia 2 is holding steady. But 14 weeks, it like held on to the top 10 longer than Avatar, which is out of the top 10 this week. So kudos to Zootopia 2. And hey, Gary, what's up? I just got out of House of Kong. Wait, what is that? Interesting. I'm going to have to look that up. William Owen says, Jim, people like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, but I am not a fan. I believe every sequel and remake is pretty bad. I think they're I mean, Friday the 13th is like, that is the sequel franchise. But others, I'm not. It depends. I've always heard good things about that one. I've not seen it. But cheers to you, William. Thank you for the super chat. Um, oh, and this is my one thing. Movies, the Gorillas exhibit? Where's the Gorillas exhibit? Is that an LA thing? Gorillas exhibit. Is it an LA thing for you LA people? Gorillas exhibition. LA. You get too many things like traffic and depression and Gorillas exhibits. So I learned about. Okay, where was it? Where was it? Hold on. The Revenant got a re-release. Okay, people saw it. It played in 200 theaters. I didn't know that. Okay, I've not heard about this movie. Uh, but there's this thing called I haven't looked this up at all. I just learned the title today. It's called Hip Hypnosemic Division Rap Battle, Rule the Stage Battle of Tried 2023, and then there's another called Interactive Movie. So it's called Hypsonic Division Rap Battle. It's an anime thing, and it's interactive. The fuck is that? What's going on there? What? That's so confusing. What is that? That's anyway. All right. Why? Wait. Where's the obits? Oh, why was I put it down there? Okay, we're gonna do obits and then break, and then we'll talk about the We Bare Bears pilot. So, but yeah, that's the box office. I don't know what that rap battle thing is. I'll have to look it up. It seems weird to me. The two obits I was going to talk about now were the creator of Red Dwarf, a show I haven't really watched since high school, but did like a lot in high school. Rob Grant passed away this past week. R.I.P. to him. I think that's British sci-fi shows. I think that really took on the mantle that the Hitchhiker's Guide uh, BBC show started. Because there was kind of like, I mean, Doctor Who is of the similar mode, but I think those were like funny ones, like playing with comedy and sci-fi at the same level, and I think they did really good. And then Gigi Santiago, who created Rainbow Bright, also passed away this past week. What? I'm lost. I don't know. I don't think I don't. We'll see if Scream 8's any good. I'm like anyway. All right. I'm going to take a quick break. Then we will talk about because of the creator of We Bare Bears has a movie out. Daniel Chong has a movie out with Hoppers. I thought I would review the pilot of We Bare Bears. So, let's wait. Is Matthew Lillard in Scream 7? That is a little cheap. All right, I will be right back. Just gonna use the bathroom real quick. Thank you all very much for the super chats and everything. You all been very nice to me, as you always are. Um, Let me put up. What? No. What are you doing? What? Go away. OBS. I'm gonna. Can we fade to what? Oh, not 100. Whatever. I faded to black there. I'm gonna play the music. I'll be right back after these messages. We'll be right back, and then we will talk about We Bare Bears Pilot. Hello. We are. Here, I'll play the music. Kind of emphasize being back. I don't know if Scream. I mean, I've heard people say that about Scream 8, but I'm kind of dubious. But yes, hello. We are back. Shady's back. Yeah. Oh man, I forgot to say something, and then I forgot what it was. Doesn't matter. All right. Yes. I forgot what it was. There's like something I was gonna talk about. But I don't remember it. Oh well. Alright, so it's gonna be great. Let's just get into it so we can get out of here. As they say. What was it? Anyway, it is weird drinking a country time energy drink. It's pink lemonade. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's not just, I mean, you can't taste the difference, but anytime I think of pink lemonade, though, I think of the sound of music. It's echoing. I think that's just, I don't know. That's weird. Here, let me listen. I don't know if I mentioned it. It's not just, you can't taste the difference, but okay, anyway, it's insane. But yeah, anytime I think pink lemonade, I think of the sound of music, because that scene where Christopher Plummer's girlfriend, who's not a Nazi, but not a, I don't know, is she a Nazi? Anyway, Ransom film. Hey, it's been a while. The more learn about Roger Avery, I hate him. He killed someone drunk driving. Now he's using AI. Tarantino will always be the cool one. What? Bum energy. Hold on. I had heard that. I think I remember that. Oh my god, Ransom. First off, it's been a while, dude. Hope you're doing well. And secondly, I forgot about that. Yeah, he did, didn't he? Jesus. Yeah, he's a weird dude. Anyway, I don't. Yeah, he is very into AI. Wasn't he talking about doing AI eyes wide shut? I saw that Joe Rogan clip. I'm like, yeesh. I mean, I'm glad him and Tarantino are friends again, but the podcast is embarrassing. But hey, I forgot about it. Thank you for shitting on him, I guess. Cheers to your ransom. Hope you're doing well, man. It's been a bit. And we were crossed another $40 thing. So first off, you go on, and secondly, I'll do this before we talk about We Bear Bears. That got very real, though. Do this there. Oh yeah, we get the real problem. Anyway, thank you all for. I want to. I think I might get real lights, and I don't know if I should. If you guys like the Godzilla thing, or if you're like, this is very silly. I don't know. Maybe we should do a vote in the. How about this in the comments? If anyone's watching this later, should I keep the Godzilla things going? Is that yeah? Is Adult Swim still considered a block? I think it's a different network, as I recall correctly. But I forget how much it had on there. But anyway, Embla D. Tex Avery. You know what though? If Tex Avery had co-written Pulp Fiction, possibly a better movie. I mean, we don't know. We never got to live in that world, but I'm just saying. I think he would have made a better collaborator than Roger Avery. It's just. Although I did hear a lot about him when Vanderbeek died with Rules of Attraction. I was hearing about that a lot. Anyway, let's talk about we're going to talk about We Bear Bears because Daniel Chong, I think it's Chong, right? Daniel Chong. If I said this wrong, I apologize to you, Mr. Daniel. We're going to talk about the We Bear Bears pilot because before he did Hoppers, he was the creator, or still is really. He's the creator of We Bear Bears and the pilot. Now, the interesting thing about this pilot, and I've noticed there's two things with pilot. Either it's totally different and they need to retool it, or it's sort of the thing. Well, actually, okay. Let me start over. This is the kind of pilot that is exactly the show, completely ready to go. It is like exactly a We Bear Bears episode, and I was really surprised watching it how much of We Bear Bears stuff was just there in the pilot, including the We Baby Bears are in this too. Like everything. All the voices are there. They didn't do a voice recast. You have Grizz, Ice Bear, and Panda all together. Um, and I did like this episode. Apparently, canonically in the show, I was unclear if this ever aired like how the regular show pilot aired later, but this is not considered before the first episode. I'm a little confused where it takes place. It might be like outside of canon or something, but it is not the first episode. It is basically like Grizz is watching a bear on his computer. They do a cool thing where I think it's probably not noticed because we know we bear bears at this point, and so but like he's watching uh, this grizzly bear video uh, on a laptop, and then he just drinks a thing of soda. I was like, oh, this is to establish like it's not just a bear watching a bear. I mean, it is, but it's like a bear that can talk, basically, like with human features and stuff. So I did think that was an interesting development, probably to like establish to the audience. This probably goes unnoticed, but they find out that Panda is upset because his internet girlfriend broke up with him, and then he's trying to make sad songs with that Guitar Hero guitar, which is a very 2010s thing to do, a very of the time. I was like, wow. And then they try to cheer him up. They go on a trip and find this kid's birthday party and just like crash a kid's birthday party, which is, if they're normal adults, that's a weird thing to do. I've had that happen to me once. It's very uncomfortable. But as bears, it's kind of funny. But they do like, first they sound pathetic, but they do have like funny things. Like the kids are all wearing hats, and like, but we wear hats like you, and the kids are like, we're wearing them ironically. Although they do like hit a kid at one point. I can guess why this maybe didn't air possibly. But I did think it was a lot of fun, and apparently they used the regular show backgrounds that time, or look like regular show backgrounds. I was a little confused on that, but there are a lot of times like they're kind of sad and figuring things out. This does get like more. I do think We Bear Bears has the tendency to have the undercurrent of like an indie movie with like We Baby Bears. Like if that was about human children, that would be a very depressing movie, as I all said. But with in since they're bears, it's like okay, which I think this one like pushed that to a degree. They're not as crazy as this in the actual show. But I will say that the fact that like everything is established, it feels like Ice Bear, it feels like Grizz and Panda. It didn't feel like the pilot versions of them. It felt like them, like they completely knew it. It feels like he's a guy who Daniel Chung from this and the other stuff. He really knows what he's doing as a creator and with the Wee Bears. And I always like their kind of general vibe. Apparently, they are all in hoppers, and I'm glad that he got to make the leap from Cartoon Network to Pixar. I actually want more Cartoon Network creators to get to do that leap as well. But it just this was a nice reminder. I do need to rewatch more We Bear Bears. I don't know if it's super available right now, but it was a really fun show. I get that why it played so much and had so many episodes because it is very rewatchable. Although Sophie doesn't really remember it. We haven't watched it in so long. It's not very. Oh, it's on Sling for free. Okay, and other places. But I always like the show. It just kind of reminded me what I liked about it. It isn't necessarily a crazy pilot, but I think the show, there's certain episodes like the movie reference one or like when T-Pain showed up that are really standouts. But a lot of the show is sort of like this. Like, someone sad, they go on a little adventure, things happen, show's over. It's sort of innocuous in a I could watch this whenever um just have it on the background, but also pay attention to it kind of show, which I think works for it. It doesn't play with the repetition of it like Phineas and Ferb definitely does. This show, it's just like bears doing stuff, and I think like that's what works about it, and that's what works about the pilot. And like as I've watched and been reviewing cartoons, like this is a pilot that you go, yeah, yeah, we should pick that up. Don't like have the bears hit kids. That's like not so into that part, but like everything else. Um I like this pilot. It's not an amazing one. It's not a crazy one, but I do really quite like I do like the Weaver Bears, and it kind of like remind me why I need to watch more of them, and probably why I'd want to watch more of them in a show. And I feel like that's the vibe people got from it, why it became a show, and why Daniel Trump got to be who he is now. And I was like, and Ice Bear is still my favorite. Okay, I guess that was a review. I feel like that was loose. It's sort of a loose show, so whatever. That works. All right, let's do the questions. I'm not going to start with Austin. I'll end with Austin. Austin can wait. Let me do the other Patreon questions, but let me write um um oh, someone recommended. That's very nice of them. Okay, let me do the other. Let me get to the other Patreon questions. I hope that was good. Um, Bear Bear. Oh, and they had this fun, funky bass riff. Jazz riff. What am I talking about? All right, where is? I'm gonna write questions below. If anyone wants to do any more super chats, this is probably the last 15 to 20 minutes. So if you'd like to, you can. I'm just gonna let Godzilla go. But if anyone would like to, this is your last chance. Good night, Dan. Thank you for being here as always. Um. Okay. Cinram asks, built. Oh, no. Can't do Cinram first. Almost fucked up. Okay. Marzella Torres says, what the hell happened to the subscriber tab on YouTube? So algorithmic, as if they're really trying to obscure less popular channels. I do think the subscription thing kind of sucks now. That's why I'm always like, just um, go to the Patreon, go to the Twitter feed, go to those other places because you can't rely on that. And I do think it's not fair for independent creators. I wish it was easier, but if you like enough of them, it'll tell the algorithm, to push it there. But I don't like that you have to mess with the algorithm and stuff. I find that to be sort of dumb. I think it's anti what the database of YouTube is. To be honest with you, it should just like you should be able to make different things, and some aren't for everyone, and some are, and stuff like that. But anyway, Sinram says, building on Marcelo's question, YouTube recently added a most relevant section to the top of users' subscription pages. I find this annoying because I'm used to the most recent uploads being at the top. This new feature will put videos that I have already watched there. How is this new feature not working for you? I do have that section on there. The problem is I have that, and then I have a playlist that's just like, the cooler videos, but the videos that I want, the best of the best kind of thing. I have thought about clicking off on that because when I go to it, it's usually like a ton of what the video I just published is. Um, I don't know. I have thought of replacing that because I could have another playlist of actual videos there. I think it's like depending on what you're doing with your channel, it's an easy thing to put there because you're kind of hoping YouTube will recommend the right things. And yeah, I guess they don't. This is making me want to get rid of it, Cinram, to be honest with you. I'm going to have to think about that now. So, yeah, you're making me question. Like, I don't know. I don't get a lot of feedback, so any feedback is good. And this is making me question. I'll see how I feel about that tomorrow. That is a good point, actually. Good point, Cinram. Thank you, Mirzola Torres Cinram, for bringing that up. But yeah, YouTube's not a perfect system. Nathaniel Fogo, prior to the new Naked Gun, when was the last time you generally enjoyed a parody movie? The problem is I don't think there's a modern one. I've definitely seen like I watched Naked Gun 1 and 2. But I already seen the first Naked Gun. I hadn't seen 2 before. I like 2. So I guess that one, but outside of Naked Gun, probably a Zucker Brothers movie. I'm trying to think if there's any. I can't think of one, man. It would probably be an older one that I rewatch, like King Kung Fu or um, what's it? With Val Kilmer. Crap. Where's Elvis? Val Kilmer. Top Secret. Yeah, be one of those. I can't think of any others that, yeah, would probably be that. Or Austin Powers, technically. Maybe Austin Powers. Austin says, "Hey Jim, hope you're doing well. Having a great day today. My question for you is been really in the Sci-Fi Channel Mystery Science Theater lately, and I found a playlist of promos which I will link. Uh, I'll post that link in the general thing, but it didn't have all the promos. My question for you and Mystery Science Theater promos, you were seeing any on TV? Also, I'm discounting Turkey Day promos. Uh, I did see some. I actually saw the one Turkey Day promo, which I did see some for specific episodes, and I was coming a lot. I didn't actually see many on Comedy Central, but I saw a bunch. It was always fun. It was like, oh, cool and stuff. But when the build up was happening that weekend and all that stuff, I remember they did a lot, and they did them up until the end. The Sci-Fi Channel did sort of promote it on its own pretty good. Although I think like 3 seasons. Come on, Sci-Fi Channel. You could have tried harder. You could have tried harder. Okay, where are we? Okay, question from Cornbread. News regarding Jonathan Majors, and his upcoming anti-sinner song makes me recall fascinating rumor that prior to what happened, he was to act opposite Michael B. in Sinners. Thoughts? Um, I've heard that. Um, I think I know they wanted to work together a lot more. I don't know if that Sinners thing was real or not, but I kind of feel like since twins is such a part of it, I think that might have been more of a rumor um, than in actuality because it is like Ryan Coogler has talked about like doubles and twins and stuff. So I do sort of think the two Michael B's was on purpose, but I understand because they did plan on working together more and that never materialized. So I think it's like two things that didn't mix. You know what I mean? Where are those We Bear Bear toys I got for Sophie? Nathaniel, they are somewhere, but they have so many toys that get mixed. I've seen the rings around. I forget the other ones. I don't know what happened to those. Actually, I'm sorry to think about. That was a long time ago, but we did have fun with them when we had them. I think they're in the We Bear Bears video for the review for the movie. I forgot about those. Thank you for reminding me. What was your favorite cartoon as a kid? Why are you wait? Are you asking Cornbread or me? I guess mine maybe like He Man or GI Joe or Ren and Stimpy, Batman, the animated series. Those are a couple. There we go. MBLT is Warner Brothers now going to be Warner Brothers. Ransan Film favorite non-Evil Dead Bruce Campbell role is Bubba Hotep. Is that your favorite one? Mine is maybe Brewster McCloud. No, Briscoe County, Brewster McCloud. Briscoe County, or the guy in Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2, probably. Black Sox, what is Kevin James going to have his own energy drink? I hope soon. Have you seen any of the Fat Boys movies? Do you mean like Disorderlies? Is that what you mean? Like the rap group? I'm not sure. I'm assuming I have seen Disorderlies. I watched it with Ian the first time on syndicated TV. It was embarrassing. That movie, not us. Medela Butterfly, are people going to boycott more Paramount movies or was it just Screams? I've heard people say that, but I don't think it's going to work. So I don't think maybe someone will, but good for them. Do you know if the active duty Marines who starred in Act of Valor were members of SAG AFTRA? If they weren't, how did the production get around that? I have no clue, and that is a good question. I'm assuming they had to, but I don't know if it was like a non-union production or something like that. That is a good question, Syndrome. Bloxy Uncle, we've seen a few collabs with Godzilla in games recently with both Fortnite and Screen Rumble. I don't know what that is. A mobile game. What is the perfect collab for Godzilla? I have Mario because I don't play many games, and that's one that I wouldn't know. Or what's Rampage doing? Oh God, YouTube. YouTube's great because I like the Fat Boys first album. Like, Can You Feel It is a legit great song. Let me just say that. I think that's maybe one of my all-time favorites. Godzilla: The Legendary Journey. Which one is that? Is that the one with the guy from Twilight? I reviewed that one. nobody's remembering that. Oh, wait, what were you asking me? I felt okay with it when it came out. I think I didn't really watch either. So, what is the best before bedtime snack? Sleep? I don't know. Probably. I don't really eat that much because it'll wake me up. So, did you not see Naked Gun 33 and the third? I have not seen that one, to be honest. Oh, hey, Jim is talking about top. Yeah, I was. Question: have you watched Quest for Delta Knights? Is that the um Channel Awesome thing? I've not watched that. No, I'm sort of done with the Channel Awesome stuff. I did it for a little bit. People were weird. I'm just like, let me. I did the compilation of nostalgia critics, so I'm just like, it was never my thing. So I think that's part of. I don't really have actual nostalgia for it, and he never like made me want to make stuff. So it's like I like Tom the Shadows and Lindsay Ellis' stuff, and there's probably a few others, but yeah, I don't think that's happening. Embla T. Been marathoning every Wuthering Heights and noticed it's yet to have a proper adaptation. What other literary works that is need for a proper adaptation like Elder Shells? I don't think Moby Dick really had one. Catcher in the Rye. Those are two. I don't think they should do a Catcher in the Rye. Austin, so you're going to review Chikwa short on stream post Oscars? Probably not. I barely understand what that is. I know you've sent me stuff, but I barely have the time to get into the stuff I want to, so I don't know. Embla T. Paramount is inviting Lasseter, Landis, and Ratner to make stuff for them. Which other Me Too guy they're going to get in their roster? Definitely Cosby. Uh, Cornbread, twins doesn't mean identical, right? So I want to clarify. He said doubles, like exact doubles, and they're twins in his family and identical twins in his family. So it would be more identical and not just doubles. I honestly think it's like, since he's spoken about it so often, it was never supposed to be majors, but maybe that's all. Maybe he's blowing smoke. I don't know. But remember when Snoop Dogg gave up smoking weed for that like that like non-smoke fire thing? Oh my god, that guy's such a sellout. Austin. Well, I guess he just bought in. Austin, do you think the baby bears would like Babu Frick? Absolutely. Um, favorite Byronic what character? Example: Heathcliff, Dracula, Captain Nemo, or any Lord Byron character. I don't understand what that means at all. I'm gonna say Dracula. Why are they making adaptation of Greek myths without gods? Like, isn't that just missing the point? Like, imagine Zelda without them. If you're talking about the Odyssey, it will apparently have that. They just underdone it. They undercut it in the trailers a bit, but it is supposedly going to be in it. To be honest with you, 30. I am Toasty Jackson. I am surprised there's a bit of Resident Evil trailer. I think there might be holding a bit. I mean, I actually was thinking, will we get a Zelda trailer before Mario, like a teaser? I bet Resident Evil would be good before Mario, but that's sort of a family thing, so I don't know if they could get away with that. I don't know what you would. Maybe Master. I think Master Universe might move because it is opening next to Scary Movie. It's going to be a weird June because I think you got to get all your. Oh yeah, Gatsby's never been really done. That's a complaint. I think June's going to be more stuff because July has Spider-Man and Odyssey, and everyone's just like, let's just flood the streets before. Remember that Jay-Z quote where he's like, 50 Cent is coming, flood the streets now because we can't do anything after. And I think it's going to be, this summer is going to be, June's going to have a ton of shit. And then Odyssey and Spider-Man are going to just like clear the deck. Although I am curious about that um Spielberg movie. But anyway, all right. I think that is it. I think we're done with the show tonight. Man, YouTube, what's going on? What's going on? Oh, we're still here. Okay, thank you, YouTube. I want to. Where are you going? Where are we going? YouTube. Oh yeah, Toy Story is also this June. That's gonna be an interesting one. All right, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. There might be a bunch of stuff this weekend. We'll be back with the show next Thursday. It will be a post Oscar show as well. But yeah, I think that's everything. There might be a goat review soon and stuff like that, and other stuff. Um, any celebrity that hurt you as a fan to find out was a piece of shit? I honestly think most famous people are probably pieces of shit, to be honest with you. So that's, I think it's best to think of it that way. Anyway, have a good night. See something cool. Have a good March. Oh, good March. This is the first stream of March. Have a good March. See a good movie. I will see you all next time. Or watch a good cartoon. Or just go on Tubi. Find something cool on Tubi. You can always find something cool on Tubi. Have a good night, y'all, and I will see you all next time. Oh, wait. I got to do the shout out for the super chats. I forgot to do that. We got to do that. If YouTube will. What is going on? Does YouTube just like Jim is